Hello everyone, my name is Michael Geddes and welcome to another episode of SkiRace TV. With the ski racing season off to a start, Victoria held their first round of their Grand Prix series down in Cryo Bay. The conditions weren't ideal, it was cold, it was overcast. Under 13 boys and under 13 girls were the two classes up first. Billy Barnes taking out under 13 boys, Emma Barnes taking out under 13 girls. Then you went over to the next class, which is under 17 boys, under 17 girls. Young Mitch Mulcahy taking out first place, showing why he's Victoria's most improved junior skier last year, with his teammate Jake not far behind. Ashley Cuff took out under 17 girls. Then you had F2 women's and open women's with Madison Boyer and Chelsea Blight taking out those two classes. Then you had open men's with Brian Griffin taking the win, and then F2, another competitive class with Reece Duggan with the high velocity team taking the win there. Unfortunately, New South Wales didn't get to run their first serious race with the forecast of severe weather conditions, with competitor safety the #1 priority. Unfortunately, that probably left a few of the competitors a little bit behind the 8 ball going into the Hawkesbury 120 ski race. With the Hawkesbury 120, our first major classic for the year, we had awesome weather and we had some awesome racing on both days. Hellraiser took out the outright win with Jason Walmsley skiing and Jake Teggett taking his first outright win. Followed closely was Agitator with Chris Knights and Justin Cadden skiing. Then you had Superman with Daniel Cotton and Daniel Graziano. Unlimited Inboard was taken out by Team Stinger with Ben Hackett and Jack Houston. Then you had Masterstroke in the F2 class, which took the win with Kylie Jones and Trudy Stout skiing. And then you go down to my favourite class for the day was the 200 horsepower class with Messi taking the win over No Fear and Medusa. And then you had under 13 boys with Luke Harrison and Carter Robinson skiing behind Big Lol. Thunderstruck took out under 13 girls with Brooke Hammond and Emma Barnes. Unfortunately, on the way back there was an incident and the race had to be red flagged, so some of the competitors got to make the trip down to Wiseman's but didn't get to post a return leg. All crews involved are all okay, so hopefully we see them out on the water very shortly and racing again. With this week's segment of On Off the Water, we're going to head down and see Hawkesbury 120 winner Jason Walmsley at Ziggs Marine. The old saying goes, what you race on Sunday, they sell on Monday. With the longboard, are they suited for any particular speed, or anyone that's sort of say starting off in 60 mile an hour, they could run one of these right up to say your super class speeds?
Yeah, look, they'll pretty much cater for every class. I don't necessarily push people that are just getting into the sport onto a new ski.
Yep.
Generally, we might have something second hand kicking around. It's always good to start on something that's pre-loved, okay. And then if you progress and you're going to stick with it, then yeah. Upgrade and get some new gear.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so basically you could basically start off in say you start off in entry level 60 mile an hour with a longboard, and then you can eventually move up to 70 mile an hour, yeah. Your F2, later on then superclass. So actually just notice with this one here, these are a timber ski, but these got a timber finish, but this one actually underneath is the bottom is a little bit different. Just tell us a little bit about what's the difference here with this ski here?
Yeah, with this particular one here, this is my own personal ski that I've just set up for myself. This is a graphited bottom, which you see a lot of the skiers doing now. It reduces friction on the water. Okay. It's good for high speed river racing. Doesn't seem to have any negative effects in the rough though either, but mainly recommended for guys that are travelling pretty quick. Yes, okay.
So it's sort of more of a high speed type thing, so it's going to be less friction, so it's going to be less work on your legs and overall when you're doing it.
Yeah, the graphite's designed so it actually moves off the ski after time, and if you look at my finger, I've got grey on my finger, and it just takes the water friction away from your legs and probably increases top speed by a few mile an hour, I like to think.
Okay, yes, yep, righto. Say if you were to do a graphite bottom, what do we need to look after? Does this need to be reapplied after so many races, or
it's I like to put a towel down if I'm putting my ski on. Certainly not put it on the sand. Yes. The sand tends to scuff it off. You treat this like it's your baby now. So
yeah, okay.
There's a lot of prep that goes into it, getting the ski totally straight, and we use a little bit of fill, but there's a lot of sanding and prep, and then the graphite goes on. and yeah, it's good stuff. It makes a big difference.
Okay, yep. So this is something that you do in-house here at Zigs Marine. If anyone wants to get this, you can.
Yeah, we can sell the material to anyone. We're happy to share that info with people.
Yes.
We can sell the product, or we can do it right here. So.
Yep. Okay. So how big are these? So these are what size are these normally skis come in?
This is a standard longboard, which is 87.5 inches. Tip to tip.
Okay.
We've got the stiff skinny ski over here, which are 89 inch. We've got what I call a ladies or a junior ski here, which is 86 inch.
Okay. Yep.
So pretty much we sort of cater for all sizes.
Yeah, cater. So you've got your junior skis. There is a longboard that's going to suit them, because obviously a junior ski probably doesn't want.
Yeah, we actually do a junior, an 80-inch junior ski as well. So. It's like a stepping stone off a social to a race.
To a race ski.
And that's good for kids around sort of 11 to 13 years old.
Yep.
And,
okay.
And down from there, we even do a 70, 72 or a 74 for the littlies. So.
Yeah. Okay. Righto.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there really any sort of guide in terms of your height and your weight when you're going to pick the Maha longboard? As in, like I know you discussed there's women's and there's kids. So.
Yeah. Most people are quite happy on a standard longboard. They'll work really well for everyone.
Okay.
Any of the bigger guys that might want to run, lake style water, choppy water, you might find something a little bit bigger and heavier works better.
Okay. Yes.
But if you only want to own one ski, then that longboard sort of it's good from everywhere from the ocean to the river. So.
Okay. Yep. And then speeds against once again, like if you wanted to go from your 60 to start off, right up to your super class. So this is actually your the same one that you ski on here. So this
it hasn't hit the water yet. But yeah, that's a new one.
Okay.
Out, so.
Yep. I suppose when you're going to set up we'll have a look at boots in a minute. But I suppose when you're going to set up a ski in terms of speed, is there a general rule of thumb where you start off with boot placement?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a rule of thumb. I mean, this particular ski works really well at about 900mm to the front foot.
Okay.
And then you've got different boot spacings depending on the height of the skier.
Yep.
I like to have my boots around about 325 apart. Some skiers will like a little bit closer, and the odd skier maybe a little bit further apart. So, but your boot position is the more critical thing on the ski as far as your toe in or toe out.
Okay.
I find so. If I'm setting a ski up from scratch, I'll give it a little bit of toe out.
Okay. Yes.
And I find it gives you a little bit more stability.
Stability. Yep.
So,
okay.
But again, it's personal preference.
Personal preference. Yeah. Okay. So with people that are doing the faster speeds, do you normally like you can set it up a little bit further forward, or you have it a little bit further backwards compared to say a 60 mile an hour skier?
Yeah, it really depends on their stance. If someone's a front foot skier, you might actually set the boots a little bit further back on the ski.
Okay.
Or vice versa. If the ski's a little bit sticky in the nose in the flat water, we might shift the boots back a bit.
Yep.
Which we do every now and then, but most of the time people just ski as they are and get used to it.
Yep. Okay.
You don't want to swap too many things, otherwise you start getting confused and
that's
going backwards too.
Yep. And then I suppose you can also then go back to what we spoke to in episode 1, our handle setup as well. So you can do a bit of correction in terms of that as well. Okay.
See Chrismic Industries for all your action camera needs. Look them up on the web, www.chrismicindustries.com.au, and you can check them out on Facebook and Twitter.
Okay, I suppose we'll just have a look at different boots. So you've picked the ski you want, you've got the colour, and then the next important thing is your boots. So I suppose when you're looking at boots, say if you're starting off at 60 mile an hour, you might want to go with maybe say something like a social type setup where, because 60 mile an hour you're probably going to be on the ski for a lot longer. So where this you might want to go with a bit more comfort. Obviously you've got two different options. What's I suppose the different options in terms of boots, and what's the difference? You've got two obviously different styles of boots here.
Yeah, look, I set a lot of 60 mile an hour class skis up with a social boot. They're probably a little bit more comfy and a bit of a general fit.
Yes.
But just be a little bit careful. You don't want to go for something that's a full high wrap. If you compare, say, a social type boot to say that that style of boot is a lot higher up the leg, and also the angle, which on a slalom ski puts you over the front.
Okay,
which on a race ski we don't want. So there's only a couple of boots I'll use, something like that, which is a Radar, or HO do another brand, which is a Basis, which is similar. It's very straight up and down, low cut, similar to a race boot, and it gives us the movement that we need on a race ski, which is totally different to a slalom type ski.
Yeah, okay. In terms of maintenance, is there anything we need to do to these boots, obviously, to look after them? Because you know, once you buy a set of them, you want them to last.
Yeah, look, it doesn't hurt to put a bit of like Armour All or something similar to that into the rubber, just externally, just to keep them soft.
Okay.
And again, just keep them out of the sun, keep them clean. If you're using detergents, wash them out.
Wash them out.
And,
yeah. And then I suppose after each race or before a big race, you should go through in a bit of maintenance and go through and make sure that all these are tied. This is probably part of, you know, any
check all your nuts and bolts, your clips here. You know, it's important to have some sort of a strap around the two main straps here, in case for some reason one unclips, they don't bang around and knock the back of your ski around.
Yes. Because if something like that does come loose, it is sort of like a handbrake really when you'd be worse than going around a corner, and that's flapping you in the water.
That's dangerous, and it can put you off too. So.
Yeah, exactly.
This week's A Word from the Skier, proudly brought to you by Blue Pacific Marine, your Mercury Racing dealer. Is New South Wales skier Braden Jameson.
So how old were you when you done your first race?
I was 8 years old, and my first race was down at Mildura.
Yep. And how'd you go in that race?
Not too well, obviously being my first race. I missed a start, had a fall, first race, so I was pretty happy.
Okay, and what's your favourite race to do?
I've got two favourite races. This year was my first year of doing Catalina, and yeah, it was a good experience. I liked the race, and my other one would be the Southern 80. It's a pretty good race, it's quite fun, lots of turns, short course, it's pretty fun.
Your greatest ski racing accomplishment too?
Well, this year I came second to a good mate in the Australian titles, Lloyd Woolman. I came first in the New South Wales state titles for under 16 boys. I came first in the Queensland state titles for under 16 boys. And another one was in Queensland. I skied open men's and I came fourth.
Okay, and what was the, you received a recent award at the New South Wales series race, what was that?
I got Best Junior Skier of the Year for male, so I was pretty happy with that. That was a pretty exciting ski racing accomplishment, so yeah. Yeah,
definitely get something like that as well. And what boat are you skiing with this year as well?
I've teamed up this year with Two Ironic in Smock, with Dave Morabito driving, Dale Ashton observing, and I'm skiing with a guy called Nick Rose from Victoria.
Okay, yep. And I suppose in your ski racing career, where do you want to see yourself in the next year or 2 years?
In the next year, I'd hope to win the 2013 World Titles in Junior Boys. That'd be an awesome accomplishment. And then just skiing Smock and having some fun.
Okay, well, all the best, and I hope it all works out for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's definitely going to be a big month for ski racing in September. The 8th and 9th, New South Wales have their round 1. Then on the 22nd and 23rd, they have round 2. Then you head down to Victoria on the 8th and 9th, they have their point score 1. And then on the 15th and 16th, we head up to Queensland to Redcliffe for the round 1 of the Australian Water Ski Racing Championships. Then over the October long weekend, we have the Grafton Bridge to Bridge Water Ski Classic. Everyone here at SkiRace TV, we'd like to wish everyone racing over those weekends to have fun, be safe, and don't forget, we'll see you at the races.